Nigeria wants manufacturers constraint address. Okay, constraint address. Okay, their constraints should be addressed.
That's right.
Their constraints should be addressed. Very important because everything you see on the shelf today, the price you go before you return, the price has changed.
Right.
Why are these things happening? They have their constraints. They'll tell you these are constraints, whatever the constraints is. At least meet the necessary authorities. Talk about it so that at the end of the day, the average Nigerians will not be the one to suffer the heat of whatever the constraints are. And finally, from this day newspaper this morning, done deal for gas supply to Brass Fertilizer and Petrochemicals Limited. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from this day newspaper this morning.
Incidentally, that's where we're going to leave you with the papers. Ramsey, thank you so very much. We have the air news at top of the hour. Then, of course, we have conversations coming up with pundits after the AM news. So do stay with us. Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofrebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the Global AM News, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. President Bola Tinubu has hailed the progress made through his administration's reforms, urging stronger collaboration between government, private sector, and international partners to steer Nigeria's economy towards sustained growth and stability. The president made the call during the 30th Nigerian Economic Summit held in Abuja. Represented by Vice President Kashif Shettima, the president highlighted the positive impact of the reforms undertaken by his administration, which he said were designed to diversify Nigeria's economy and reduce its over-reliance on oil revenues. The Nigeria Economic Summit serves as a crucial platform for fostering dialogue and driving economic policy recommendations. The senators asked the government of Libya to apologize to the Nigerian government over the ill treatment of the Nigerian senior male football team, the Super Eagles, in that country. The Super Eagles had departed for Libya on Sunday afternoon, but according to reports from the camp of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, an hour to landing at Benghazi, their destination, the Nigerian aircraft was diverted to Al Abrak, a city which is more than 2 hours' drive from Benghazi. The unexpected diversion left players and officials stranded without any assistance from the Libyan Football Federation, which failed to provide transportation. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology Uche Nnaji has stressed the critical need for greater female participation in science and engineering. He stated this at the Presidential Implementation Committee on Technology Transfer Delta II program award ceremony held in Abuja. The minister emphasized initiatives of the Renewed Hope agenda led by President Bola Tinubu aimed at fostering talents among young girls, explaining that by nurturing these talents early, the country can transform Nigeria by the time they come of age. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Aliyu Abdullahi, has reiterated the federal government's dedication to enhancing food security in the country. The minister stated this during a visit to cluster farms in Buhari Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The visit is part of the 2024 World Food Day, highlighting the importance of collaborative farming efforts in addressing food challenges. Delta State government has proposed a budget of 936 billion naira for the 2025 fiscal year, raising concerns about the state's rising debt burden due to challenges posed by the exchange rate. Commissioner for Economic Planning, Sani Ekedeye, disclosed this during the opening ceremony of the budget defense in Asaba, the state capital. He noted that the state, like the rest of the country, is grappling with difficult economic conditions and urged citizens to adapt to the current realities. President Bola Tinubu has expressed deep condolences to former Oyo State Governor, Senator Rashidi Ladoja, following the passing of his wife, Alhaja Mutiat Ladoja. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, conveyed Tinubu's commiseration in a message where the President described the loss as a profound sorrow, offering prayers for strength and comfort to the Ladoja family during this difficult time. Governors elected on the platform of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, the PDP, have nullified the suspension of the acting national chairman of the party, Iliya Damagum. The governors have also nullified the suspension of the National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologunagba, and National Legal Advisor, Kamaldeen Ajibade, SAN. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have raised Urban Radio 94.5 FM Enugu, arresting a presenter during a live program. In a statement, the station apologized to its listeners over disruption of the program. Urban Radio says operatives abducted the presenters and seized communication equipment without disclosing reasons for their actions. For some time now, the traditional medicine practice has continued to gain acceptability in many parts of Nigeria. Although some argue that the practice is often counterproductive, practitioners are recording increased patronage on a daily basis. From Kano, Global Television correspondent Idris Jibrain reports on how women queue in for herbal medicine.
For several months, Habiba Sani has been suffering from menstrual problem leading to a frequent abdominal pain. Despite her repeated visits to the hospital, her problem still persists. But with the help of this traditional physician, Habiba is now free. So many people came here on daily basis, especially women and children, and we give them medicine, and by the grace of God, they used to recover from their sickness. Musa Kau is an itinerant barber, otherwise known as Wanzami among the Hausa people. He specializes in offering traditional health assistance to mostly women and children. It's a practice Musa inherited from his mother. This is a practice I inherited from my mother, and my mother inherited it from her own mother. So it's a practice that we have been doing all along. Although believed to be effective by many, especially these women who queue in here on daily basis, but conventional health practitioners argued that the practice is a double-edged sword.
The way the traditional medicine used to be given to people, the dosage, the strength, the traditional medicine doesn't specify dosage and strength of the drugs the way our own English medicine is.
But not for people like Musa, who believes that with strict supervision and regulations by government authorities, traditional health practice can significantly reduce the burden and pressure on conventional healthcare institutions across the country. From Kano, Idris Jibrain, reporting for Global Television News.
Idris, right there in Kano for Global Television. Thank you so very much. Justice Yusuf Alilu of Federal Capital Territory High Court, sitting in Jabi, Abuja, has issued an interim order against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, restraining them from arresting or detaining a former Minister of Defense, Lawal Batagarawa, over a land dispute matter. The court also restrained the commission and its agents, privies, or anyone acting on their behalf from inviting, harassing, intimidating, or otherwise threatening Batagarawa pending further proceedings. The order was made following allegations that he had been subjected to undue harassment by the anti-graft agency. Justice Alilu also ordered substituted service of the originating process and other legal documents on the EFCC and other respondents in the matter. Outgoing chairman of Kaduna North Local Government Area, Mukhtar Baloni, has emphasized the crucial role of internally generated revenue in the success of local government administration, particularly in urban areas. At his end of tenure presentation titled Achievements, Challenges and Recommendations, held at the Council Secretariat in Kaduna, Baloni stressed that IGRO helped supplement shortfalls when federal funds were insufficient, enabling the council to execute meaningful projects for the community. Indigo dyeing is an ancient tradition in the northern Nigerian city of Kano. However, a dwindling number of customers and cheap imitations are threatening the centuries-old industry. Many dye sites have shut down, and those still operating have been both production and incomes cut by more than 70%. In this special report, Global Television correspondent Idris Jibrain visited the Kano's 500-year-old dye pits and now reports.
For half a century, indigo dyeing is all Dang Asabe Abubakar has known. It's a trade that has been passed down from one generation in the family to another. But in the last decade, he and others in Kano dye pit have watched helplessly as the business struggled and incomes disappeared. Well, there are so many challenges. As you can see, there are so many pits operating here, but today we have only a few of them. But low patronage is not the only threat to these people. Clothes making technology have changed over time, but not at these dye pits here in Kano. The ingredient and skills used in 1498 still remain the same today. Just 2 decades ago, there were 148 dye pits here. Now only 14 remain. The dumping of chemically treated fabric here, like in most African markets, is a major source of concern for local producers.
So since during the Obasanjo region, Obasanjo has given Chinese allowed to come to Nigeria to take our own work to send to China. The Chinese product after Chinese people producing our own product here in Nigeria from China to send it back here and sell it in the Kantun Quarry market. So that is our problem we are facing since 2003.
Many buyers prefer 100% organic indigo dyeing, but with fewer tourists coming and exports slowing down, producers are struggling to convince local to buy from them.
Now we are in bad situation of our economy in Nigeria. So Nigerian people, I'm calling them to come and join hand in this to saving Nigeria in this problem.
There is widespread concerns here that soon, even the few pits that remain will also have to close down, bringing to an end a more than 500 years of history. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, reporting for Global Television News.
The federal government says the petition by Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, calling on the United Kingdom to consider the Yoruba Nation was not endorsed by the United Kingdom government. The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Eche Abjobe, in a statement in Abuja, said media reports on the petition were highly misleading. He explained that following media reports on the petition submitted at number 10 Downing Street by Sunday Adeyemo, the British High Commissioner in Abuja was invited to shed light on the issue. During the meeting, the High Commissioner noted with concern that the matter was overblown, indicating that the media reports were highly misleading. You're watching the AM News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news returns, Nigeria's inflation rises to 32.70% in September 2024. Details of these and more for you after this short break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of the AM News with Uya Mofwebe. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. Let's bring you some business now. The federal government says it plans to invest $2 billion to expand Nigeria's fiber optic network by 90,000 kilometers. Dr. Bosu Tijani, Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, spoke about the investment during a visit to the vandalized Digital Innovation Park in Kano State. In a statement, Dr. Tijani said the project aims to increase Nigeria's fiber optic capacity from 35,000 kilometers to 125,000 kilometers, strengthening the country's industrial and terrestrial fiber optic backbone. The park, earlier scheduled for commissioning in August, was raided by protesters. In a quest to further revamp the aviation industry by President Bola Tinubu's government, the federal government has upgraded the Muhammadu Buhari Airport, Maiduguri, to international status. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Kayamo, stated this during a courtesy visit by the Borno State Governor, Babagana Umar Zulum, in his office in Abuja. Kayamo described northeast Nigeria, particularly Borno State, as a commercial city that connects Nigeria with other countries. Nigeria's headline inflation rate for September 2024 rose to 32.70% after slowing consecutively in the previous 2 months of July and August. This was according to the latest Consumer Price Index, a report from the National Bureau of Statistics. It says it is a marginal increase of 0.55% from the August 2024 figure of 32.15%, reflecting ongoing price pressures across the country. Year-on-year, inflation has surged by 5.98 percentage points compared to the 26.72% recorded in September 2023. On the foreign scene, Ukraine has denied allegations that it had supplied drones to rebels fighting against the Malian army and Russian-backed mercenaries. It comes after Paris-based Le Monde newspaper reported that Ukrainian drones were providing support for the Tuareg rebels who are benefiting from discreet but decisive support from Kyiv. Mali's junta-led government ended a long-running alliance with former colonial power France in 2022 in favor of Russia in a bid to tackle a years-long insurgency in the north. However, it has been unable to quell the unrest and recently suffered heavy losses alongside its Russian allies. Let's turn to Europe now, where Prague is to ban nighttime pub crawls organized by travel agencies in a bid to deter rowdy tourists from visiting and attracting more refined visitors instead. The Czech capital's authorities say organized pub crawls, often aimed at foreign stag and handles, will be banned between 2200 and 600 local time. Deputy Mayor Jiril Popsili says he wanted the city to become a place where refinement and respect for shared public space are a priority. In auto sports, the Confederation of African Football has listed the Group D second leg fixture of the ongoing 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. The game was earlier scheduled to take place in Libya by 8 p.m. after the first leg took place in Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo, Nigeria. The Super Eagles beat the Mediterranean Knights by a lone goal in the 9 minutes of the game. However, the return leg has been greeted with controversy after the Super Eagles players and officials narrated their over 14 hours ordeal at the Libya airports, leading them to return home. Manchester has ended its annual multi-million-pound remuneration to legendary former manager Sir Alex Ferguson as the club's new co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe looks to reduce operating costs. The decision to stop the payments, which were able and made part of Ferguson's role as a global club ambassador and non-executive director, is a part of broader financial cutbacks under the ownership of Ratcliffe's Ineos Group. Ferguson, 82, who retired as Manchester United manager in 2013 after overseeing the club's most successful era, continued to receive a substantial salary from the club in his post-managerial roles. And that's all we have for you on the AM News. Thank you everyone for watching. Came to you on Global Television here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Please be reminded that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. We encourage you to follow us across all our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles you now see on your screen. The rest of Global Morning continues shortly. Do stay with us. Global Morning is your ultimate destination for engaging political and economic matters. I am Uyi Agmofwebe.
And don't forget to include social discussions. Tune in every weekdays from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Queen Agaba.
For insightful breakfast ideas, business summaries, sports highlights, international and local news perspective, I am Anthony Momodu.
Don't miss the in-depth analysis of current and political issues by the Global Morning team and experts. I am Jumai Manson.
Catch Global Morning here on Global Television. Getting on the action. I am Edikan Michael.
We are
the Global Morning team.
Business Point on Global Television.
The business world can be dynamic and unpredictable, with headwinds and volatility sometimes becoming an obstacle for players in the business and economy landscape. Watch Business Point on Global Television as Samuel Oji walks you through the twists, turns and curves in bands, stocks and crucial market indices from a global standpoint. Watch Business Point weekdays on Global Television at 11 a.m. West African time. Business Point. This is business.